Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about Canada, 50,000 foreign students no-shows in 2024, including 20,000 Indian. In recent reports, the Canadian government has highlighted significant concerns regarding international students' compliance with study permits. According to data from spring 2024, nearly 50,000 international students, including a substantial number from India, were marked as no-shows by Canadian colleges and universities. Nearly 50,000 international students, issued study permits for higher education in Canada, were reported as no-shows by colleges and universities, according to the Canadian government data from spring 2024 under the International Student Compliance Regime. Among them, 20,000 were Indian students. This figure, accounting for 6.9% of all international students tracked by Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, has raised concerns about the effectiveness of Canada's compliance system for international students. Countries with the highest non-compliance rates, according to IRCC. India, compliant students, 327,646. Non-compliant students, 19,582. Not reported, 12,553. Compliance rate, 91.1%. Non-compliance rate, 5.4%. China, compliant students, 62,519. Non-compliant students, 4,279. Not reported, 466. Compliance rate, 93%. Non-compliance rate, 6.4%. Nigeria, compliant students, 30,920. Non-compliant students, 3,902. Not reported, 1,675. Compliance rate, 84.7%. Non-compliance rate, 10.7%. Ghana, compliant students, 5,881. Non-compliant students, 2,712. Not reported, 139. Compliance rate, 67.4%. Non-compliance rate, 31.1%. Iran, compliant students, 14,039. Non-compliant students, 1,848. Not reported, 88. Compliance rate, 87.9%. Non-compliance rate, 11.6%. Democratic Republic of Congo. Compliant students, 2,176. Non-compliant students, 1,166. Not reported, 7. Compliance rate, 65%. Non-compliance rate, 34.8%. Bangladesh, compliant students, 11,948. Non-compliant students, 984. Not reported, 157. Compliance rate, 91.3%. Non-compliance rate, 7.5%. Vietnam, compliant students, 9,573. Non-compliant students, 912. Not reported, 299. Compliance rate, 88.8%. Non-compliance rate, 8.5%. Rwanda, compliant students, 840. Non-compliant students, 802. Not reported, 24. Compliance rate, 50.4%. Non-compliance rate, 48.1%. Philippines, compliant students, 28,373. Non-compliant students, 688. Not reported, 2,078. Compliance rate, 91.1%. Non-compliance rate, 2.2%. In compliance reports submitted by Canadian institutions in March and April 2024, tens of thousands of students were found to have failed to adhere to the conditions of their study permits. An additional 23,514 students, 3.3% of the total, had their statuses unreported. The International Student Compliance Regime, introduced in 2014, requires designated learning institutions to report twice annually on whether international students are actively enrolled and attending classes. Canada tightens rules. In November 2023, Immigration Minister Mark Miller introduced stricter rules, including suspending non-compliant institutions for up to a year. IRCC has also strengthened monitoring measures to identify non-compliant students and enforce reporting requirements. Canada is aware of increased exploitation of temporary resident visas, including student permits. This has escalated due to organized smuggling networks and global migration crises, said Renée LeBlanc-Proctor, spokesperson for Minister Miller. In November 2023, Indian students, Canada's largest group of international learners, received emails requesting resubmission of study permits, visas, and educational records. The notifications, which reportedly include students with valid visas for up to 2 more years, caused concern among students. In response to a query from Business Standard, IRCC clarified that these requests are part of a standard procedure and not a new practice. Since 2015, the Canadian government has required most post-secondary designated learning institutions to report twice yearly on the enrollment status of their international students through the International Student Compliance Regime, said IRCC. It further explained that regular compliance activities involve only designated learning institutions, not students directly. However, in some cases, students may be asked to provide documentation to confirm their enrollment status, such as current or past transcripts. When asked about the focus on Indian students, IRCC said, "Since India is the top source of international students in Canada, it is reasonably likely that a higher number were sent to Indian nationals." India remains the largest source of international students in Canada, with 427,000 Indian students enrolled in Canadian institutions as of August 2024. In the same month, IRCC revealed that over 10,000 fake student acceptance letters were discovered during reviews of 500,000 documents. Reports indicated that 80% of these fraudulent documents were linked to students from Gujarat and Punjab. Jenny Kwan, an immigration critic for Canada's New Democratic Party, described the findings as extremely alarming. She said, "Canada has a responsibility to ensure that international students who have been defrauded are protected." Concerns about some institutions' verification practices have also been raised. Darshan Maharaja, a Canada-based immigration analyst, commented, "The many malpractices, including outright corruption, have become deeply entrenched in the immigration system. Comprehensive reforms are needed across the system." The Canadian government has responded with stricter regulations and monitoring to address these compliance issues, including targeting institutions that fail to report accurately. With increasing scrutiny over fraudulent documents and the rising number of non-compliant students, especially from India, there are growing calls for systemic reforms. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.